In this week's Bleach, Bach rules over all.
Okay, let's get to the killing.
Wait, what? No!
Bleach, chapter 680, the End 2, starts with a pretty sick color page with Bach. There's text next to it that says, when all the stories come to their end, just blank more chapters. Wait, what?
Oh, dear God, no!
Pick up with Bach absorbing Ichigo's powers, who can feel it all fading away.
Your powers are weak, old man.
The Quincy powers he inherited from his mother and the hollow mixed in with it. It's all fading away into pure white.
Drying up, becoming totally worthless.
Bach tosses Ichigo to the ground as he now is completely and utterly defeated.
I don't like that face! You need to change it quick!
With Ichigo beaten, Bach stands over victorious and creates a black umbrella over the palace as he lets out his evil laugh. Cut to Haschwalth, who is surprised Ishida can still move after the beating he's taken.
Oh, you were never dead at all! That was just a trick! A dirty trick by some dirty boys!
Ishida then starts to talk about how he's always tried to keep his composure, but he can't help but follow Ichigo's lead. He's someone who doesn't hesitate to help another. Orihime, Chad, Rukia, Renji, they're all the same way.
Shut up!
Ishida says if he's anything like them, it would bring him immense joy. But Haschwalth says bonding with that group has in no way benefited him. The one moment Bach granted him power was more growth than he's had spending years with his friends.
You take it back.
I hereby undertake not to repeat any such slander at any time in the future.
Ishida recalls Haschwalth saying the scale is filled with decisions. His decision was to be with them. It wasn't to gain an advantage or anything like that. He chose to do it because they're his friends.
Scott earned the power of love.
This infuriates Haschwalth, who realizes Ishida joined Bach without ever expecting to give anything up on his end. Well, now he will give up his life for Bach. But suddenly, Haschwalth is engulfed in a white light and brought to his knees.
Am I gonna die?
Cut to Thor, who is being affected by the same light and disintegrates into a skull. So just like that, Thor is dead.
Well, this sucks.
Thor crashes into the ground as Byakuya looks up to see the light is returning to the palace, back to Bach.
I need more power.
He opens a portal and bids farewell to Ichigo since he no longer needs him or the Sternritters. He wants him to sit back and watch him destroy Soul Society and the real world.
Hey, look at you now, tough guy, laying on the ground like a little bitch.
Rukia and Renji arrive at that moment, annoying Bach. He says they're too weak to do anything, but invites them to follow him through the portal if they wish to experience an extravagant death.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've considered it. I don't know if I'm ready to make the decision, though. But thanks for the offer.
He will find them in the future when they're at their happiest and slaughter them. So whenever they indulge in happiness, just remember his looming shadow and promise of death.
This is a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
Alright, first things first. I'm going to talk about this supposed end of Bleach on the horizon in a different video. Too much to talk about, so let's stick with the chapter here. Overall, this was a very depressing chapter. Ishida's speech about sticking with his friends was the only small ray of light in an otherwise dark chapter. It appears as though Haschwalth has gotten his powers taken away and so did Thor, but he died in the process. That sucks big time, but you had to figure it was the only way to kill off a character who just wouldn't stop dying. And I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like Ishida was hit by Bach's light, so it is possible he still has the antithesis. If he does, then he still has the power to keep them in this fight against Bach.
You can win! You feel great! You can do this! Oh ha ha!
And Ichigo appears to have lost not just his Quincy powers, but hollow powers as well. By process of elimination, this leaves him with just his Shinigami powers. I can't help but wonder what this means for him. Is it a decrease in power, or does it give him potential to be stronger? And Hollow Ichigo was said to be a representation of Ichigo's Shinigami powers, but with the hollow powers gone, does he still exist? Meanwhile, Bach is taking those powers and going off to destroy Soul Society and the real world. At this point, I am just so baffled right now. Kubo is taking this in a way I never imagined, and with the possibility of not much time left, I don't know how this is all gonna wrap up. Is Bach really gonna come out on top?
And now you're all gonna die.
So I'll give this chapter an 8 out of 10. Ichigo loses his Quincy and Hollow powers, Haschwalth and Thor were stripped of their abilities, and Bach is victorious and plans more destruction. For my question of the week, what happens next now that Bach has total control? Favorite comments always featured in the next review. Here are last week's winners. Alright, that does it for me. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. I'll be back next week with Box Destruction. Peace.